So I don't really have this grand testimony or tragic life story, but I do have a story that I suppose is worth sharing. It goes back to when I was 4. Um, my dad was very abusive to my mom. They were married for 9 years, and throughout the whole 9 years, he was very abusive to her. He never touched my sister and I, but we did watch. We did watch it, and it was very traumatic. So after 9 years, my mom finally divorced him, and at some point during this time, she met my stepdad and married him. So by the time I turned 5, she had married my stepdad, had gotten pregnant, and had my little sister Amber. And this is also when my abuse started. So I began being sexually abused by my stepdad when I was 5. And that's not something I really talk about. That's not something I tell a lot of people. So I was sexually abused and raped for the next 12 years. So from 5 to 17 years old. And I did tell my mom. I told her multiple times what he was doing. And she would confront him, and they would argue, and I suppose whatever excuses he gave her was good enough, because nothing ever became of it. Nothing ever stopped. It just continued to happen. She never left him. In fact, she's still with him today. She had 2 children with him, my sister Amber, and then in 1991 she had another little girl with him named Alicia. I became withdrawn. I became severely depressed and suicidal. I felt worthless and unloved, and used. I felt like I was put on this earth just for people to use me. Like that's all I was good for. And so I began drinking very heavily, and I got into drugs very badly. I was using every day, all the time, drinking every day, all the time. I don't even think there was a second throughout the day that I wasn't drunk or high. It was a very, very bad time for me. And I was with guy after guy after guy. It was all so I could forget who I was just for a little while, so I could forget about all the pain that I was in, and it worked. I didn't have to think about who I really was, and I could forget about what I had gone through and leave the pain behind. So I pretended to be somebody else. I pretended to be somebody I wasn't. And that's how I did it. People didn't know the real me, and I never allowed them to know the real me. Because I didn't like who I was, and I didn't like where I'd come from. Then in 2007, I got pregnant with my oldest son, Landon. Thank God. Literally, thank God. Because he was my blessing. I put down the drugs, I put down the alcohol, because I wanted a happy, healthy baby. And I wanted a healthy pregnancy, because this baby is all that I ever wanted. I guess like most young girls that want a baby, it's, I wanted that unconditional love. But he really did. He did save me from the drugs and the alcohol. And I really have God to thank for that. I went through my entire pregnancy alone. I didn't have my family. On June 12th of 2008, I gave birth to a 7-pound, 12-ounce healthy baby boy, my little Landon. And for the first 8 months, I raised him all alone. I worked my tail off. It wasn't easy, but we did it. We did it. And then in November of 2008, I met Josh, who is now my husband. We've been together for 17 years now. And we have 5 more beautiful boys. 5 more. So we have 6 total boys. And it is chaotic. Our life has been far from easy. We've struggled financially. We've struggled, obviously raising the 6 boys. It's part of our financial issues. We had 4 of them in diapers at one time. Josh worked all the time. I was a stay-at-home mom. So that was very difficult. We struggled with infidelity. We've struggled with health issues. In 2016, Josh was working and he fell off of a 30-foot roof. He broke almost every bone in his pelvic region, and he broke his spine from the T12 down to his tailbone. He was in the hospital for a while, and then he went to rehab to learn to try to walk again. He came home in a wheelchair, and then I became his full-time caregiver. And at the time, I was pregnant with Noah. And so I had the 5 older boys to take care of. I was pregnant with Noah, and then I was Josh's full-time caregiver. And it was just very, very difficult. Very hard time in our lives at that point. And then in 2021, I had a massive stroke in my sleep due to undiagnosed sleep apnea. And it left me unable to see out of my left eye. I could not speak clearly. I could say like 1 or 2 words, and then Josh would have to kind of guess as to what I was trying to say. That lasted for a little while before I was able to get clear sentences out. It left me unable to walk. I had to use a cane or a walker. Left me with uncontrollable seizures. I fought with seizures for 2 or 3 years. Sometimes I would have multiple seizures a day. I could no longer be alone. I had to have a babysitter. My family had to take care of me. I became isolated. It was very humiliating and lonely, honestly, because I was just stuck between the 4 walls of my home. I could not go anywhere. I had to rely on everyone else. I hated it. My depression kicked in full gear after that. Full gear. And I tried 3 times to end it because I did not want to live like that. And I couldn't see any other way out. I didn't think there was going to be another way out. And so I tried 3 times to end it. And all 3 times, I ended up in the hospital. God had other plans for me, so they were unsuccessful attempts. I was then diagnosed with manic depressive disorder, CPTSD, which, if you don't know what that is, it's complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. It's all trauma-based diagnosis. After going home this last time, which was just this past December, was the last hospital stay. I was sitting outside one day, and I was really reflecting on my life and everything I've been through, everything I recently have been through, and my most recent hospital stay. And I began scrolling on Facebook, and I seen this phrase that said, "No God, no peace. No God, no peace." And that really resonated with me because I have not had God in my life, and I had absolutely no peace. My life was falling apart in every way. I had basically no relationship with my husband. I had no relationship with my kids. We were all at each other's throats. Our lives were literally in shambles. And when I seen that phrase, I thought, that's what I need. We need God. God can fix this. God can put us back together. And that's why we're broken, because we don't have God. And so in that exact moment, I sent my dad a text and I told him, I said, I need a Bible. And he immediately went and bought me one, which he sent me a picture of it, and it's a beautiful Bible, beautiful. He bought me a study Bible, a woman's study Bible, and he also got me a 1-year study Bible, which he's mailing out tomorrow, and I should have by the end of the week. So, but I am an impatient woman. Sorry. So my next step was I went to Donna, my grandma Donna, and I told her that I wanted to go to church with her. And so I asked her if she would go Bible shopping with me, because I wanted a Bible right now. And that was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. And so she did. She took me to Halos and Wings in Troy. And I picked out a beautiful Bible. I love it. I absolutely love it. And that Sunday, I drove into church with her, not knowing what to expect, not knowing where we were going, anything. I didn't know anything. But I walked into Diplomat Legacy Church, and I was greeted with smiling faces, open arms, and by people who acted like they had known me their whole lives. And I felt this overwhelming sense of pure love. And I've never felt that before, ever. And I knew right then and there that this church, Diplomat Legacy Church, is my new home, and that these people are my new family, and I'm never going anywhere. This is my home. And if you're looking for a home church, Diplomat Legacy Church is where it's at. They're so sweet. They're so loving. And I know that for my kids, they're going to grow up in this church and they're going to be loved their entire lives. And I love that for them. And I love the feeling I get when I walk into this church, when I walk through those doors. And I love the feeling of, like, I want to be here. I want to come to this church. I can't wait. All week long, I'm just waiting to come to church. Like, I'm like so excited and ready to go, when it's Thursday and Friday, and I'm just like, I'm ready now. I want to go. So I love Diplomat Legacy Church. This is my home. There's that. That's my testimony.